When I was in Antigua, I had a restaurant, and the business I catered more for like laborers, people who worked for the government. So in the morning, when I get a truckload of men coming to buy lunch or breakfast, I didn't even have to open for dinner. Okay, business was going real good. People would come and they would buy breakfast, lunch. Then the country got into recession in that the government had a problem and they had to lay off the men. So I said to myself, before things get worse, let me head home.
Things were really hard for me because I was basically by myself. So decisions that I had to make was made based on whatever little experience I had at the time.
For 3 months I wasn't working and I had to pay rent. I had a lot of financial difficulties. The house that I used to live in before I went to Antigua, I couldn't live there anymore, so I had to rent a house. I couldn't afford to send my daughters to private school because I didn't have the money, I didn't have a job. So I had to go around asking, and it was even a problem to get them into the public school. So I had to go around actually begging the principals to take them.
There were times I was working for money and I couldn't see where the money was going because I had rents to pay, I had bills to pay, I had the boys to see about. So there were times when I couldn't see where the money was going and I couldn't understand why. About 2 months after I applied for a job, I got that job. But things didn't really get better from there. I had to move out from the apartment that I was in to move into another apartment.
I decided to visit a friend who I knew a long time ago. And at that day when I went to her house, she was watching the program on the TV and she made me drink the water and then she told me where the church was in Tobago.
My older sister said to me, let's go to the Universal Church. I don't know anything about the Universal Church. I've never been to the Universal Church. Actually, never been to much church anyways. But she said, let's go, and we went.
Then I found out how to use my faith. But even then, it was a bit hard because it seemed as though things were going downhill instead of uphill.
Everything was just going down for me. I was not working. I had my bills to pay. My rent was getting higher and higher. And we were just doing this chain of prayer. And one morning I said, Lord Father, enough is enough. I believe, I trust in you, and I am not giving up.
I persevered. I kept on doing what I know I had to do. I kept on using my faith. When the campaign of Israel came around, I said, God, you have to do what you have to do. You promised me. I am doing my part, and it's up to you now to do your part.
I went home and I started sending out resumes. And I sent out a resume to this hotel, asking for a job as a manager. I received a call asking me if I would like to be a concessionaire. I did not know what that was, but everything the woman said, I agreed. And I tell her, well, I'll get back to her as soon as possible. I called my sister and I'm saying, you wouldn't believe the opportunity that just fell into my lap.
She said, what to do? I said, well, tell them yes. Let's go down and see the place. And then everything just went uphill from there. The business come like God had just prepared it and placed it in our hand. We had to pay no money to start the business. Everything came together. Everything was just there, waiting for us to take control of.
The next thing we know, we are sitting in a meeting with the directors. We are signing our proposal, and they're telling us we have a month free.
Everything was here. The workers came, everything. He provided. I didn't have to pay a cent. I got the first month free. Not until a month and a week after I gave the first month rent. Everything just came together.
There's a pool. What we provide basically is great service, breakfast, buffet on Sundays, lunch, dinner.
We have 20 employees and we do breakfast, lunch and dinner 7 days a week on a shift system. Everything, even the people who have been here have noticed there's a change because this business is God's and we make people know that it's God and they have noticed it.